You're only the boss if you put up your own money. If you don't put up your own money, I don't care how much somebody gives you, you're nothing but a supervisor. It's not yours.
My family fortune comes from the medical field.
I like your story. But tell me a little more about it.
Last year, I sold the company for over $100 million.
Teamed up with Diversity Houston, and DJ the Money Coach will be in Houston. We'll be at Rice University with the Go Entrepreneur Tour September 23rd. It'll be the beginning of a tour, the Go Entrepreneur Tour, Game Dash, CEO Vision Only. Holla.
DJ the Money Coach coming to you live again. I want to show you this magnificent beach, white sands, emerald water, and you need to come here and be with us on the Pom Pom Tour, baby. Plenty of money, peace of mind. Join me on the beaches of the World Cup, Zanzibar style. What do you say, baby? Come with us. Coming to you live at Nungwi Beach in Zanzibar, baby. I want you to enjoy the Pom Pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money, peace of mind. Come join us on the beaches of the World Club and these amazing entrepreneurs on the beach, giving you great things, beautiful people, beautiful time, sunset, and awesome Zanzibar, baby.
How do you say your shop? Pama Starfish Tours. So here you can go jet ski, you can go, what else? What else you got? Come talk to me. Let them know what you got.
So we have a yakety, sleeper, there's some secrets like Maxi. Yeah, we are open every day here.
Open every day. And what can the people do? They can do jet skis. Can they do kite surfing? Jet ski, kite surfing.
Yeah,
okay, what else? That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So we got jet skis and kite surfing here at the Pama Starfish Tours. Nungwi Beach offers so much beautiful white sand, beautiful water, and beautiful shopping. Come and join us. We are the 7 Spheres of Money, DJ the Money Coach team, and we live the Pom Pom lifestyle. It's a movement. Come and check us out in Zanzibar.
You can only live the Pom Pom lifestyle if you're here with us, with you. I'll see you next time. There it is.
All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Family Finance Friday with DJ the Money Coach, brought to you by the DJ the Money Coach team and the 7 Spheres of Money systems. And before we get started, like this video, share, and subscribe to DJ the Money Coach right here on YouTube, and share this channel with 5 people to help us spread the message and the gospel of the pom-pom lifestyle movement. And what is the pom-pom lifestyle? That is plenty of money, peace of mind. And we want you to come join us on the beaches of the World Club. And tonight's beach, well, we got a few of them. A lot of things that we're excited about, a lot of incredible things going on over here at DJ the Money Coach, which you can also take part of. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in and toss it over to DJ the Money Coach.
What's happening, everybody? TGIF. Thank goodness it is Friday. And with Friday, we bring you Family Finance Fridays with DJ the Money Coach. So it is important that you make financial literacy a cornerstone for your family to even have a chance at achieving financial independence, yet alone generational wealth. I'm going to say that again, ladies and gentlemen. It is imperative that you have financial literacy as the cornerstone of your family if you're going to have a shot at having financial independence, and yet alone generational wealth. So we're going to open the show with that. And we're going to open the show, if you're new here, like, share, subscribe. Because as we always tell you, we're not YouTubers. We're not IGers. We run a real foundational, solid, small business in this beautiful country called America. And we've run this business, ladies and gentlemen, since December of 2002. And we're just coming on this platform to share with you 100% reality. Not something that we read out of a book, not some personality, but real business. And if you just hopping on, check out the replay, because we just opened up the show to show you what we're about and who we travel with, because your direct net worth is in direct correlation to your net work. And many times people don't become financially independent, which really financial independence definition, real simply, if you have $1,000 of expenses per month and you have $12,000 in the bank and you don't work, you have 12 months of financial independence before you got to go back to the grind. Permanent financial independence is what we call Wi-Fi. Why financial independence? Is when you take your recurring expenses and you match them with your recurring passive income, 1x, but to get totally free, you have to 2x it. So if my recurring expenses is $1,000 a month, and if I add in inflation and taxation, that will double every 10 years. That means that my recurring passive income through ownership of businesses that buy real estate, that create passive income and leverage the tax laws, have to be 2x and have to have an inflation escalator built in, that passive income will go up without your contribution after you built it right, 7% every year for 10 years, that it'll double. And if you do that, ladies and gentlemen, you are financially independent for the rest of your life. And I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count, how I know this. Because I achieved that in 2008. And I got myself out of debt completely in 2002. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? It's a 6-year window, not 6 minutes, not 6 days, not 6 weeks. It took me 2 to 5 years to become completely financially independent through building business first, taking that top line business dollar, investing in real estate, building passive income through different strategies in real estate, from residential properties to duplexes, condominiums, townhouses, apartment buildings, commercial properties, to the end game, resorts. So I took myself through being self-taught and following people who were further ahead in life than I was, and I just did what they did. I adapted to their behaviors and their techniques, and I applied them in my life. And I was naive and dumb enough to believe that their success could be my success, because I believe what God tells me. He is no respecter of persons, meaning if you do apply the indelible principles of success that are given to us from God, anybody can achieve the success that anybody else has. So what we were able to do is get ourselves out of financial debt and financial illiteracy from 98 to 2002. 2002, I was totally consumer debt free. I bounced back from an incredible 525 credit score that I built for myself in the mid 90s and early 2000, and created a massive debt consumer with student loans to a credit score of 525 and $60,000 in debt, which in today's world, if I would do what money does, devalue every 10 years because of taxation inflation, that $60,000 back in 1997, 1998 would have been equivalent to like $120,000 today. So I took those principles of success, I applied them, and I got out of all consumable debt, and I never carried any personal debt on any credit cards. And more importantly, anything that I bought, I only bought what I actually could own outright in 30 days or less. And then I started to dig in from 2002 to 2008 to achieve permanent financial independence, which basically I took my reoccurring expenses, I added in an escalator clause for taxation inflation for 7% every year, and I built my business methodically, strategically for the next 6 years, and I eclipsed 6 figures in passive income and eclipsed a 7-figure net worth. And then all I've been doing is doing it over and over for the last 15, 16, 17 years. But more importantly, I went from struggle, 95, 94 to 98, to success in 2002, got myself free. But then the ultimate achievement was significance, where I started to give back to my community, my church, YMCA, non-for-profits, state of Illinois, state of Michigan, professionals like yourselves. And now we're on a legacy play, ladies and gentlemen, so that we can create things with our names on it, and we practice the ultimate principle of success, which is equity and ownership in everything we do. And so what you're seeing here is a combination of 25 years of work that has been done consistently through the 4x4. Did we make a lot of mistakes? Absolutely. So we applied discipline, accountability. We plugged into a proven system of success, which is the one we created called the 7 spheres of money. And then we put our heads down and adopted us 3 mentors, a spiritual mentor, not a personality. We emulated the principles of success that will be in practice by successful spiritual leaders that I was able to comprehend and understand by my own intelligence, by reading the good book and making it meaningful, measurable, and manageable based on my comprehension, not what they told me, but what I did look and see if they practiced those principles of success, and I followed and emulated those principles. I didn't duplicate their personalities. So that's the first mentorship that I sought out. The second mentorship was a leader, a proven leader. I was fortunate to adopt 2 Miles Monroe, How to Become a Leader. Read all his books and applied them. And then God blessed me to actually meet him personally before God took him home. And then I met John C. Maxwell, 21 Irrefutables of Leadership. And God blessed me with the ability to meet him. And I joined his program called the Enjoy It Group, which gave you leadership conferences, gave you leadership training and weekly meetings of leaders to get my ducks in a row. And then I made the ultimate move and I followed a successful business leader. Never met this gentleman, but he changed my life, Reginald F. Lewis. And then I was fortunate to meet a real business successful entrepreneur named Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and again, was blessed to actually have met him personally. And I just dug down, studied what they did, emulated the same principles, and looked up 20 years later, and we were on a path of significance. I didn't do anything special, ladies and gentlemen. And the great thing about this is, I don't care if you have $500,000 in debt, or if you had, like one of my best friends, had $3 million worth of commercial debt when the market collapsed in 2008. As long as you got your health, humility, and you're willing to practice the 4 dirty little words: discipline, accountability, plug into a proven system of success. Ours is called the 7 spheres of money, and go to work for 2 to 5 years. I have not met personally a person or a family that have done that, that have not become financially independent. And my definition, as I told you, is take your reoccurring expenses, match that with your reoccurring passive income built through business, take the top dollar of the business revenues, invest in real estate and leverage the tax laws, and not become free. And then you side that with the 4 P's, because this is called the 4x4, ladies and gentlemen. The first one is professionalism. So that video you just saw that was shot by Microsoft, not by me, but by Microsoft, I had to speak the Microsoft language. I had to know how to talk about enterprise systems, Edge, Surface. These are all the professional jargon in the Microsoft world, and I was able to articulate my understanding of what Microsoft was about at a high level and show them that what we're doing in Zanzibar would be something of interest to them. That's what I call speaking the King's English. So the King's English can be, if I'm an educator like Nick, I speak literally the King's English. I have my grammar in order. I have my sentence structure in order. I have my writing skills in order. I don't speak slang. So that's professionalism. I also show up 15 minutes before the start of an event. If the event starts at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I'm there no later than 6:45 Central, because if the event starts at 7 p.m., they're ready to go. The lights on, showtime, baby. Just like a sporting event. I wear the proper attire. If I'm at a hip hop event, which I very rarely go to, because that's not my cup of tea, but I ain't got nothing against it, then I'm going to wear what hip hoppers wear. However, if I'm at a business conference with my mentor, Dr. George Frazier, the Power Network Conference of 2023 that was held in Houston, I'm showing up in a business suit. Facts. I'm showing up in a business suit like you see right there on my poster. I showed up in a business suit because that's the professional attire required to be at that conference for you to get anybody to even legitimately think that you're serious. That's professionalism. The second P, as an entrepreneur, as a professional, is persistence. Persistently pursue your purpose of your plan. Persistently pursue your purpose of your plan. Because it's not your talent, it's not your skill that creates success, it's your persistence. It's like one of my other favorite mentors that I never met. There's the king of martial arts. Bruce Lee said, be like water. Because water consistently over time wears down everything. I.e., look at the Grand Canyon. Need I say any more? Water flows through your hand, but water is so powerful, you can turn it into a laser and it can cut diamonds. So that's persistence. Now, the third one for success, this is what separates the men from the boys and the women from the girls, which very few of you have nowadays, because we live in a soft society. Somebody say something about you, you all whining and about to have a, breakdown, or you about to try to go global and go, DEFCON 5 on them because you don't have any respect for yourself. I'm going to pull up on somebody. I'm going to jack them up. And all you doing is, expressing evil, and you're putting a demise to your own self, and you're putting a demise to your own people. So this one right here, perseverance. You have to have the ability to take that gut shot, take that betrayal, take that backstabbing. It's going to happen. There's a scripture in the Bible that says your friends are sometimes better to you than your family. Now I'm paraphrasing, but you understand what I'm saying. So the perseverance part is generally when you're heading up the mountain to absolute freedom and actual self-actualization, which Maslow talks about. Once you get on that pathway, the number one enemy that's going to come after you is the one that you don't think exists. You can call them whomever you want to, but the greatest trick that this entity has ever achieved is that he convinced you that he don't exist. You can call him whatever you want to. You know who I'm talking about. But the fact that you don't believe he exists and you go do all these silly things, your soul is lost, baby, because his is lost for eternity because he was beautiful enough. He was illuminated enough and spectacular enough that he convinced a third of the angels to turn against God. Now, if he had that much power up there, when God cast him out of heaven, guess what? He has over you. God gave him dominion over this planet. You don't have to believe it. These are facts. So when you start to get on the pathway to real success and significance for your family, he's going to come back and show that video that's always tripped you up. And if you don't have the ability or the maturity to overcome it, he's going to keep sending you around Mount Sinai. Okay? He's going to keep sending you around Mount Sinai. And if you don't know these reference points that I'm talking about, all you got to do is pick up BK1. It's called the Bible. You can pick up the Torah. You can pick up the Quran. It's the same story in all three of those books. In essence, Mount Sinai was basically only about 4-7 miles from peace on earth and the promise that God gave the Israelites. But because they were knuckleheads, he kept sending them around Mount Sinai. And what the adversary does, he keeps showing you the same video that you don't have the maturity to get beyond. So the perseverance part comes in because you have to learn that that perseverant situation is to actually make you better if you can overcome it. But if you're not on that pathway to sincere significance and wealth generation that's the right way for your family, the adversary is never coming at you because he already got you. And it'll always be something that's unexpected by the least expected person or entities that you think would be haters of yours, but they always are. So that's perseverance. That's intestinal fortitude. That's able to pick yourself up off the mat how many times it requires for you to be successful. Some people are lucky as one. Some people may take 1,000,000 times, but the reality is keep getting up. Be the man in the ring that gets knocked down and keeps getting up. That's what you got to be. Now, when you put those three together, professionalism, persistently, purposely pursue your plan, and overcome all obstacles, now you have to, on a sliver, perform, baby. When the lights are the brightest, the stars show up. No excuses, no justifications, no rationales. They show up, baby. And how do we know this is true? Because again, I'm just going to go back to the video that Nick opened up the show with Microsoft. We had one opportunity to engage with Danielle, who actually runs the whole Eastern Seaboard of enterprise sales for Microsoft, $1 billion budget, $100 million a year quota. And I met her at my mentor's conference, and she was on stage, and she just said, I have a challenge for you, Black, beautiful business people here at the Power Network Conference in Houston. Microsoft does not make it an initiative to not work with you or to work with you. But what I can tell you is that in the meetings I'm in, brokering these $1 billion and $100 million deals, I'm generally only one person that looks like us, maybe two, and all the rest look like everybody else. And Microsoft has very high, stringent requirements for you to do business with them. And unfortunately, most of you don't qualify. It's not because you're talent, not because you're skill, it's because you don't have your ducks in a row. So she sat on stage, ladies and gentlemen, and she said, guess what? I'm going to challenge you, 400, 500, 600 people in this room with the beautiful business suits and business dresses and great posture and etiquette and everything. I'm going to challenge you to come talk to me as soon as I get off this stage, share with me your business, your idea, and your game plan or your deck. And if yours is solid and it can pass the sniff test of Microsoft, I'm going to advocate for you to the end of the world. When she said that, ladies and gentlemen, probably about 100-something people just swarmed her after she got off stage. And she also gave them her business cell phone number. I'm there with my son, the protege, my corporate president, and myself. And we stayed back in the cut, and I said, hey, Tajir, go seek out Miss Danielle and tell her we are that person. The PM performance, right? So after the swarm went down, she started heading to her room. It's about 11:30 at night. We call her on her cell phone number, text her, tell her who we are. She says she's busy. She got to take a 6 o'clock a.m. flight. And we said, Miss Danielle, just give us 2-3 minutes of your time. We got our ducks in a row. You won't regret it. She said, okay, I'm going to be passing through here, getting on the escalator, going to my room, and get up for my red eye. We caught her. A 3-minute conversation, Nick, ladies and gentlemen, turned into a 2.5-hour sit down. And right there, ladies and gentlemen, she invited us to the exclusive event that you just saw in that video. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the beginning in the replay and check it out. An event, ladies and gentlemen, that she had already put together for the past 6-9 months. But she was so impressed with the 7 Spheres of Money system and so impressed with the multi-luxury residential resort that we were putting together in Zanzibar, because I had my deck with me. I had my elevator speech ready. That she said, hey, you know what? We're doing this Microsoft certified partners, vendors, and customers get together. The only one we doing this year, and it's been planned for about 6-9 months. But I'm so impressed with what you're doing. And since you are a Microsoft customer, I want to invite you to this exclusive event in Vegas. I said, I'll be more than happy to do so. She said, you sure you're going to be able to change your schedule? I said, I learned from Robert Kiyosaki. If you're trying to chase the best mentor or business and they're whales, if they say they're going to be somewhere and they're inviting you, you do whatever it takes to get there. So you know what I did, ladies and gentlemen? The lights shine bright. I immediately hopped on the phone. I called my business manager. I said, change my whole schedule. I don't care what it is. If I'm meeting with the president, cancel it. Get me a flight to Vegas immediately, which the event was 5 days later. Get me a room. Only rooms were available was the host hotel, which was the Aria. Expensive, $300-400 a night. I did not negotiate the price of success. I showed up, I showed out, and we sold out. So, again, the number one thing you have to do to accomplish anything in life is you got to bring the 4x4. And so now tonight, on tonight's show, we want to show you what is the next event that we got on the docket. And if you never see me again, but you want to engage with somebody to take you to the next level, be it a spiritual leader, a leader, or a business leader, you just ask them one simple question, Nick. Miss Superstar, Mr. Superstar, what do you have equity and ownership in that you can show me that I should invest with you, in you, that I can become successful? Don't show me your superstar website that you spent $60,000 on. Don't show me your, $6,000 commercial spot that you invested in. Show me your equity and your ownership that significantly shows that you are who you say you are. Miles Monroe, equity and ownership. Wrote multiple best-selling spiritual leadership books that work. John C. Maxwell, multiple best-selling 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership books. Organizations around the world, over 1 million people follow his principles of success. Reginald F. Lewis, first person in the modern world to actually achieve a leveraged international buyout of $1 billion. Robert Kiyosaki changed the paradigm in America for the average man and woman to teach them what some people think is an allegory, what don't really care. He actually changed your narrative about rich dad, poor dad. Broke down, hey, here's what professionals look like you and me. We got law degrees, doctorate degrees, all these degrees. Look like we successful, broke as hell. That's the poor dad. His dad was a superintendent for the school system in Hawaii, 6 figures, $1 million home. But his dad was broke, and was the evidence of it at the end of the book. If you followed it, his dad started filling his oats, didn't like what the government was talking about in education, and he decided to run against his boss, and not thinking about it. Once he got on the wrong side of his boss, he lost everything. But rich dad, living like the millionaire next door, rich dad was quietly, methodically, working the 4x4, buying up everything in Hawaii. 10 years later, poor dad with all the status, broke. Rich dad, no status, not trying to be popular, wealthy as hell. Equity and ownership. That's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. So when we come on these platforms on Family Finance Friday, we come here to show you nothing but equity and ownership. We can guarantee you that we're licensed professionals. Everyone that we work with that in the system, give me a full screen here, Nick, so they can see this. This is a system created in December 2002. I went out for a professional middle class, and I built relationships with accounting practices that actually service Fortune 500 companies. I built relationships with insurance companies that service Fortune 500 companies, banks, financial planning practices, real estate firms, estate planning, and legal so that you can have a leg up to actually execute, not pontificate, not give you all this rah-rah, but actually give you access, just like I got access from George Frazier to Danielle at Microsoft, and then execute if you got a game plan. So if you want to have the ability to have access, practice cooperative economics, leverage your professional network, have a proven ecosystem, which we have for over 20-something years, tried and true improvement. I don't need to be vetted by you, because you know what? I'm not getting in the room with Microsoft and doing business if we're not who we're supposed to be. We're not getting in the room with the state of Illinois Attorney General's prosecutor's office doing financial education for the young prosecutors if we're not who we're supposed to be. We're not getting in the room with Chase Bank Advancing Black Pathways program that was began in February of 2020, and then coming fast forward to 2022 and partner with them to bring 358 professionals through our system with Chase and discover $42 million worth of assets, equity, and ownership. And we sure would not been able to be in position to start developing and about to open up a 220 luxury residential resort in the most beautiful island in the world. Not because I say it is, it's because the experts say the #1 tourist destination in Africa and the top 5 exotic destinations in the whole wide world. Equity and ownership. So how do we do that? We keep putting ourselves in position to have access. We keep putting ourselves in position to practice real cooperative economics. We put ourselves in position to allow our network to increase our net worth, leveraging our professional network. We put ourselves in position to take our successful ecosystem and interdependently connect with other successful independent organizations and make it better to the top. Let me give you an example of what some successful ecosystems are. For instance, what just started yesterday? What season just started? The NFL 2023-2024 campaign, which is going to culminate in Vegas at the Super Bowl, which most likely I'll be at because I know people at the Raiders Stadium that run the show now. The NFL is the National Football League, and inside the National Football League, there are 31 or 32 ecosystems. Have you ever thought about that? Each professional team is a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem. So all those ecosystems work together interdependently to make the NFL the biggest, baddest entity in sports on the planet. How do we know? Because they generate $22 billion a year in revenues with massive profit. And when I was fortunate to be at the Raiders, they told us, a black man, shout out to Joseph, he showed us how the technology with Microsoft ran the whole stadium, Nick. The temperature, the water, the grass, how they could tell and change fields and everything. Oh, man, it was spectacular. Multi-billion-dollar stadium with multi-million-dollar technology powered by Microsoft, run by a black man. And then that leads to equity and ownership, ladies and gentlemen. So now tonight, we want to share with you the next 2 major events that we're doing. And maybe you might be looking for the masters to show up and do the work. Because what would you have done on August 4th or August 5th when your Danielle showed up for you that can actually help your family create multi-generational wealth? Would you have navigated, negotiated the price of going to Vegas? Or would you have done like I did and just spent the money? And even if you didn't have the money and you couldn't afford it, you couldn't afford not to be there. See, that's a tenement of success. So since I had the mentorship of Robert Kiyosaki, the mentorship of Miles Monroe, the mentorship of John C. Maxwell, the mentorship of Pastor Donald Rackett at Chicagoland Bible Fellowship, the mentorship of Reginald F. Lewis, I didn't even hesitate, ladies and gentlemen. I invested the money. And I hear what you're saying right now. Oh, well, DJ, you had the money. Guess what? Back in 1998, 1995, 1996, 2000, I didn't have the money, but I found the money to go to a commercial real estate conference with a guy named Scott Shields. And in, I think it was 2000 or 1999, it was $3,500. That was like 25 grand. That was like $100,000 to me. But you know what? I figured how to get it, go to Orlando, learned about commercial real estate, and that led to me about to open a 220 unit luxury residential resort in 2024. About 24, 25 years ago, you would have never thought that I would be here when I figured out how to get $3,500 to go to a conference, which represent about 10% of my income net at the time. So I don't want to hear it. You want to be a boss? My father always told me, you got to pay the cost to be the boss, baby. Pure and simple. So I've kind of, been talking for a long period of time. But again, we're not here to win friends, baby. We're here to make kings and queens of wealth through equity and ownership. And if this is your cup of tea, jump on in, baby. Get you a big master cup, supersize it. But if it's not, hey, I wish you health. But here's what I do know about you as a consumer, because I've sat down personally with over 45,000 people in the last 25 years. You're a slave to your habits. And you are instantaneously triggered like Pavlov, and you're going to go buy something that a television ad, a YouTube ad, a radio commercial is going to prompt you to get because you heard or seen it thousands of times, and you're going to think you made the choice to purchase it. You are not in control of your life. But if you discipline yourself, you will be in control of your life, and you'll have plenty of money and peace of mind. And it's all relative, ladies and gentlemen. And the first step to financial independence is becoming consumer debt free. The second step, which is Siamese twins, is to get yourself an incredible credit score. The third step is to make that first $1,000 in passive income to prove to yourself that you can do it. And you know how you do that? You make the first $100, and then you just rinse and repeat and do it faster. And then the ultimate step, ladies and gentlemen, to get totally free, pay off your house, pay off your car, have nothing of consumer value that you owe consumer credit card debt on, is to get to $8,333 a month in passive income. Why is that important, ladies and gentlemen? That equals $100,000 a year. Now, if you want to add an escalator clause to it, put another 7% in. If you live on the West Coast or the East Coast, it's basically about $10,000 a month. And I hear you, man, I can't live off of that. You're right, because you're trapped by a whole bunch of debt. But if you pay off your house, pay off your car, and you lived in a $1.5 million crib and you had a 3% interest rate, you could get by. But if you're wise and you know that the average median house in America is about $400,000, and if you can't have the lifestyle in California, why be trapped to California? Does that make sense, Nick? If you can't have the lifestyle in New York, why be trapped in New York? Why not move to some place that's better for you to get your ducks in a row? And then if you want to go back out to the East Coast and West Coast and live that lifestyle, go ahead. Better yet, let me tell you this. Maybe just go out there and rent VRBO, Airbnb once, maybe 2-3 months out of the year, and still enjoy the life and have it under control, baby. See, a lot of stuff I'm saying to you, it ain't sexy to you, but it's sexy, baby. So we got upcoming an amazing event on September 16th, a week from tomorrow. It's called the OPM event. Nick, I think you got a link that we can pull up and show to people. And this is an event that has been spawned out of our 7 Spheres of Money network. A student who now has become the master, named Financially Free Dee. And Financially Free Dee, just like you, saw us on a platform about 2 years ago and had some success and was wise enough to believe the equity and ownership that we showed her. And she dove in to our program and invested in herself. And all of a sudden, she got counseling, went through our system, and tweaked a couple of things. And the next 12 months, she blew past 6 figures in her business, blew past $250,000 in her business, and she started training professionals how to get corporate business credit. I'm not talking about this stuff you be seeing on YouTube, people trying to show you little tricks and stuff, how to get credit lines and all that. This young lady actually does underwriting with top 5 banks in the United States to get real small business owners business credit lines for their minority business contracts with the government, retail contracts in the private sector for millions of dollars. I personally have seen her work with over 20, 30 people and take them from $0 to $100,000 in business lines of credit, $250,000 worth of business line of credit. Her personal self, $400,000 worth of business credit. Help me with business lines of credit. So what she's going to do on 9/16 virtually, she's going to actually show you exactly step by step how to do it. But most importantly, the hardest thing for us to be successful is to get in the room. She's going to put you in the room with one of the top 5 banks in America that does a lot of business credit for small businesses and professionals. And he's going to tell you step by step how to underwrite your application to get approved for business line of credit working with Financially Free Dee. And then on top of that, I'm going to come in and show you the basics, how to build a business, just like I taught Financially Free Dee. Take that top business dollar, just like I taught Financially Free Dee, buy real estate and leverage the tax laws and put those together and give you a winning formula of success in equity and ownership. You don't want to miss this event on 9/16/23. If and only if you are serious. This is not for the non-serious. This is not for the curious. This is not for the person who emotionally goes out and buys red bottom shoes, Louis Vuittons, and all that stuff. This is for the person who has the ability to discipline himself. They want to go from struggle to success. This is for the person or the business operation who wants to go from success to significance. This is for the person who wants to create the environment to create passive, strong, multi-generational wealth and understands it's not built or created in a New York minute and definitely not in a microsecond like on the internet. These are for people who understand if it took you 5 years to accumulate $60,000 worth of, personal credit debt or 5 years to create $400,000 worth of student loan debt, it's going to take you at least 5 years for you to get out of it and start afresh. But the great thing is, as long as you have your health, you can accomplish this success. So this main event is called the OPM event. Others People's Money. And from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time, you're going to get led by Financially Free Dee, telling you about everything, how the principles of personal credit work, how to take those principles of personal credit and elevate to get in the game of creating personal business credit, not alone get personal business credit cards, which are totally different from personal business credit. Let me tell you that. Then she's going to give you access to a top 5 bank executive. We're going to come in and teach you what we taught Financially Free Dee. Then you're going to get access to a person that everybody needs, which is a systems engineer to automate everything in your business operation to get a fluent ecosystem. Kadera Muhammad of Omnipotent Consulting is going to show you how to create an extra 500 hours of free time through automation and technology and 10x your business. And you know how? I give you 3 guesses. First 2 don't count. She did it for us. 2 years ago, I saw a little quick snippet about Kadera on IG, and it was so simple, right to the point. I knew she was sincere. I got in touch with her, and I told her we're having some challenges operation-wise, technology-wise. We had a whole bunch of great systems, but it was analog, and I needed to be all digitized. I needed to run smoothly. We were making a strong 5 figures a month, and she came in 2 years ago, flipped the script, gave us automation, and within 30 days, we doubled our revenues. Within 60 days, we 4x our revenues. And she built the foundation that we 10x our revenues, that in April of 2022, we eclipsed 6 figures on this platform with only 500-600 subscribers, because we run a real business. So you're going to get Financially Free Dee. I'm going to teach you how to get your business through the 7 spheres of money properly structured. Kadera is going to teach you how to automize. I mean, I can't even speak right, but if you're free, you can say whatever you want to. She's going to teach you how to, what is the word? Automation. She's going to teach you how to create automation in your business. But I know what the other word I can't get out of my head right now. And then as an extra bonus, she's going to put you in front of, if you're ready, like I was when I met Danielle at Microsoft, you're going to get a sliver of opportunity to speak to a top 5 executive for business credit. And if you got your ducks in a row, you might have yourself right there on the spot, opportunity to create strong business lines of credit. Worst case scenario, the most important thing, you created a relationship. What would that be worth to you and your family? Let me tell you conservatively what it was worth, me being at the Power Network with Dr. George Frazier and me having my ducks in a row and take that 3-minute conversation and making it 2.5 hours and get myself invited to an event that I didn't even know was taking place with Danielle. Conservatively, over the next 6 months, it's going to be worth 6 figures to our company. Conservatively. If things go the way they have been going for us because we've been good stewards of our structure, our relationships, and our technology, it's going to be worth 7 figures for our company. And there was no guarantees, ladies and gentlemen, but I knew who I was. I knew I had an ecosystem. I knew I had something that nobody else had in America. And I knew if I got in the room, I can accelerate it and I could be part of a great team, as Danielle calls it, the dream team, and elevate our legacy to the next level. And at the end of the day, that can help you. So if you are serious, you need to be at the Real OPM event. Obtain, protect, maintain with other people's money. You can build wealth step by step, no debt, great credit, and build up massive assets over a short period of time in 2 to 5 years. And maybe you might be a supernova like Financially Free Dee and like Kadera, and you can actually do it in as little as 6 to 12 months because you have built the foundation and you just need to be tweaked and get introduced to your next master trainer. So if I'm you, I'm plugging in to the Real OPM event, live, virtual, next Saturday. If I'm not, hey, no big deal. I wish you health. And I wish you to achieve the pom-pom lifestyle, plenty of money, peace of mind. And I wish you to join us on the Beaches of the World Club. And your beach is, like Nick says, can be wherever you find tranquility and peace in your life. It doesn't matter, because your dream is your dream. And we want to help support your dream. That's our objective, pure and simple. But again, ask that person one question. What equity and ownership, Miss Superstar, Mr. Successful, that you have, that you can show me, that I can follow, invest in you for myself to be successful if I emulate the principles of your system. But if you can't show me, and you're just transparent with me and tell me you're a consultant that's trying to build that way, and I still want to follow you, no problem. But for my money today, I only follow people who have equity and ownership of where I'm trying to go. Danielle at Microsoft, $1 billion budget, $100 million enterprise quota personally. She's doing better than me. So I had no problems following her because she showed me equity and ownership, and she gave me an invitation, and she paid for my ticket to the event. And I just had to pay for my flight, my room, and my food. And that was more than I could even ask for. And I'm guilty because I don't even think I paid enough. So how do I pay her back? I pay it forward by telling you how to get yourself in your room with your next master. Your next room should be the real OPM event. September 16th, next Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's noon to 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's right. It's a complete training. And do you have what it takes, like I did, and change your whole schedule and your whole calendar? Because here's a way to actually create financial, multi-generational wealth for your family. Or are you going to be at the high school game, the college game, the concert, or whatever it is? And sometimes you got to do it for your children and for your family if you have to miss that recital, because this event can help you make so much money and wealth that you can be with your children and your family 7 days a week. And you can take 6 vacations minimum a year because you have no debt. You have an 800 credit score. You're on solid assets. And you're not out here trying to be famous, so you can be anonymous and you can go everywhere you want to and still enjoy a super high quality life, second to none. As my father's father told me, DJ, never be a second rate somebody else, be a first rate you. And the only way you can do that is own yourself. And the only way to own yourself is to be a boss. The only way for you to be a boss is to put your own money and your own time up first and then use other people's time and other people's money. That's the way it works. Nick, I think you got a spot commercial you can show for them. Could take a break because they probably tired of hearing DJ the Money Coach, because you may not like this tough love. But guess what? I don't care. If you are here and you're listening, that means you need what we got. I want to hear the if and buts and all that stuff, because here's what I understood. If somebody's doing better than me and are doing it morally, ethically, and sound, I need to just keep my mouth shut and do what they recommend, and then I could be better. I'm not worried about my personal feelings if my bank account is broke. And I can't be the hero to my children or my spouse or my mother, my grandmother, my uncle. I can't represent the name on the back greatly because I have cowardness and I'm a simp. But ain't no simps, ain't no cowards here, baby. And courage is not the absence of fear. It's overcoming the fear to become the winner that you are. So, Nick, play that spot for him. We're going to come back. Tell us where you're from. And if you got any questions for us real quick, let's answer those questions. And we're going to get out of here because it is Family Finance Friday live, baby, with DJ the Money Coach and the amazing Nick Westbrooks. We'll be right back after this piece.
Hello, everyone. It's Financially Free Dee here, and I am here with an exclusive event, an exclusive offer. The real OPM event is here. coming to you live September 16th. We're going to get into how to use other people's money to make money. So we're going to talk about how you can get $400,000 in business credit just as I did. We're going to talk about how you can get 500 hours of your time back just like I did. We're going to talk about how you can actually create a profitable business, making upwards of 6 figures in just 1 year like I did. We're going to talk to you about how you can actually get into real estate and start to gain passive income. And last but not least, I'm going to have my personal executive banker there from a top 5 bank here in America who actually helped me as well as my clients get over $500,000 in business credit. So click that link down below right now. Seats are going very, very fast. We only have a limited amount of seats in the room, and we are not running this offer back. So click that link down below to join us in the Real OPM Live event coming to you September 16th, and I will see you there.
This is DJ the Money Coach with Financially Free Dee. We're here in the amazing Zanzibar at what beach?
Nwingi Beach.
That's right, and we're living the pom-pom lifestyle. That plenty of money, peace of mind. Come join us on the beaches of the World Club, Zanzibar style.
Zanzibar, baby.
Man, powerful, powerful, powerful. Hey, we don't need to say anything else. So you've been watching Family Finance Friday. It's TGIF. Thank goodness that it's Friday. And we always want you to have 100% health no matter what happens. If you don't have health, wealth doesn't really matter. If you have a whole bunch of, time and you don't have money, it don't matter. You got to bring them both together like Siamese twins. You got to have finances and time married together to have plenty of money and peace of mind to come join us on the beaches of the World Club. Today's beach, baby. It's the Real OPM event, September 16th, with Financially Free Dee, Kadera from Omnipotent Marketing, and a top 5 bank executive is, like Financially Free Dee said, over $500,000 worth of real business credit. And I seen it live with my own eyes. And I actually have taken the help from Financially Free Dee to make my investment legacy in Zanzibar come true. Just that simple. So if that's you, if you like, subscribe and share, pass the word. And I want to leave you with 5 things and 5 things only. Number 1, practice cooperative economics. Nick, if you can put that up there for us. These are the 5 principles that we live by. Number 1, practice cooperative economics. If you don't know what that means that in all the things that you do, from the cradle to the grave, people have services and businesses in your universe that look like you, that are successful. So go partner with them. That's cooperative economics. Number 2, leverage your professional network, because your network is in direct correlation to your net worth. So just like I did, I went to my mentor's conference, the Power Network Conference 2023 with George Fraser. I networked within a network of high-end Black professionals, and I met Danielle from Microsoft. Number 3, ecosystems. Plug into a successful ecosystem. Our ecosystem that's been successful since 2002 is the 7 spheres of money. So I took my ecosystem within the FraserNet ecosystem, met with the Microsoft ecosystem, and now we come together and create an interdependent relationship. What that means, ladies and gentlemen, 2 great independent organizations bind together to create a greater organization and create massive wealth. So that's what we have the opportunity to do with our Microsoft relationship. And then last but not least, number 4 and number 5, only do things that create and develop equity and ownership. If we don't get equity and we don't have ownership in it, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to see me promote it. You're not going to see me wear it. You're not going to see me eat it. Now, I hear you pundits out there. Am I able to do that 99.9% of the time? No, but I do get accomplished about 95% of the time. So in essence, if you see me wear something that I don't own, I don't have equity, it's not going to have a name on it. You're going to not know how to where to buy it at because I'm not going to promote it. Just that simple. But 95% of the time, everything you see me have, everything you see me show you, everything you see me tell you about, we built it, we bought it, we invested in it so that our children's children will always have wealth and access. There's nothing you can do better for your family than have equity and ownership in everything that you do. So if you're that person that's got the Louis and the red bottoms and you're promoting all this stuff and you're hopping on TikTok and IG showing, videos and clowning and stuff, and you don't own equity and ownership in that stuff, you deserve what you get. That's right. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If your video goes viral and you do 1 million views and you made, $100, I don't even care if you made 100,000. If you don't own the publishing, the distribution, the masters, the copyright, the trademark, the IP, you ain't did nothing but make them billions of dollars. But because you're not willing to invest and build the pipeline and go the long route because you want to go the shortcut to the shortcut, which is not success, you deserve what you get. And I don't apologize for that because I'm telling you facts. Equity and ownership. Those are the 5 things that you got to incorporate into your life today. And I've sat down with people make $10,000 a year, and I've sat down in rooms and houses with people to make $10 million a year. And one thing is always consistent is that the successful person has applied these 5 things in their lives, or their family, father's father practiced it for them and gave them the keys to heaven. And most of the time, you're a lottery winner. What does that mean? You got on these platforms, you made a little video and it went viral and you got popular for a quick second and somebody threw a little chump change at you so they can pimp the mess out of you. And 3-4 months, 3-4 years later, nobody knows who you are. You're a one-hit wonder. This is what we're talking about. So if this is what chimes with you and you want the real, and you want people who actually own equity and have ownership in everything they do, and they have access to Fortune 1 companies, not Fortune 500, not Fortune 1000, but Fortune 1. Microsoft, number 1 in their industry. $1 trillion business. Chase, number 1 in their industry. About to be $1 trillion business. As my grandfather said, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And as I tell you, if you don't have equity and ownership, you did nothing but make somebody else rich. And you just been pimped. So thank you for watching Family Finance Friday with DJ the Money Coach and the incomparable Nick Westbrooks. And we hope that you can have and earn the Pom Pom lifestyle, which is plenty of money and peace of mind. And you can come join us on the Beaches of the World Club. And today's beach is the real OPM with Financially Free Dee next Saturday.
All right, everybody.
Hello, everyone. It's Financially Free Dee here, and I am here with an exclusive event, an exclusive offer. The real OPM event is here, coming to you live September 16th. We're going to get into how to use other people's money to make money. So we're going to talk about how you can get $400,000 in business credit just as I did. We're going to talk about how you can get 500 hours of your time back just like I did. We're going to talk about how you can actually create a profitable business, making upwards of 6 figures in just 1 year like I did. We're going to talk to you about how you can actually get into real estate and start to gain passive income. And last but not least, I'm going to have my personal executive banker there from a top 5 bank here in America who actually helped me as well as my clients get over $500,000 in business credit. So click that link down below right now. Seats are going very, very fast. We only have a limited amount of seats in the room, and we are not running this offer back. So click that link down below to join us in the Real OPM live event coming to you September 16th, and I will see you there.
Boss, if you put up your own money. If you don't put up your own money, I don't care how much somebody gives you, you're nothing but a supervisor. It's not yours.
My family fortune comes from the medical field.
I like your story. But tell me a little more about it.
Last year, I sold the company for over 100 million.
Teamed up with Diversity Houston and DJ the Money Coach will be in Houston. We'll be at Rice University with the Go Entrepreneur Tour September 23rd. It'll be the beginning of a tour. The Go Entrepreneur Tour, Game Gas, CEO Vision Only. Holla.